industry. After qualifying as a chartered, here we have Mr. Venkatesh Parit from Marina Wealth to kindly join us to formally welcome Mr. Ashish. Yes, put your hands together, everybody.
IFPA, thank you Sundar, and thank you all the organizers, for organizing this such a wonderful event. And when you organize such an event, I was just telling each and every organizer, it's as good as doing a wedding for a kid. So many things will be taken care of, and all throughout it's been awesome. And only one complaint that I have, and I think so I must admit that, sorry for that. The food was so good that I'm still feeling sleepy, and I'm going to take the session right now. So that's one thing that don't keep such a delicious food, because I'm not sure afternoon session how does it really go. But anyway, so it's probably the third time that I'm not sure the second or third, or probably the third time that I'm coming for this event and as a speaker here, and always look forward to have a conversation. And so this time, when I was asked to speak about Aspire and Aspire to upgrade, so it was first of all it's a very nicely conceptualized thing to do. So let's really look at aspiration. So first of all, we really need to get into how, as a country, as an India, we have actually been aspiring. And I think so none other than better than the movies of the past. And since I come from the north part of the India, and I come from Jaipur, so I'll probably pick up some of the clues from what happened, and I'm sure you'll all relate with it. So let's see first of all how we actually have traveled all throughout. So when as I said, movies are the best mirror of society, and when you look at aspiration, I think I need to connect those dots behind and then probably take it forward. Now, back in this was 1950. This movie is basically Do Bigha Zameen. It's like there was a poor farmer struggling over debt. He had a lot of interest. There were landlord, this, that. He was struggling for 2 days, even two meals per day, and all those things. And how he used to pull up the cart and travel, all those things. This was liked by the people in those generation. Because this was what the reality was. Fast forward, you have this. A Manoj Kumar movie, which was probably 60s and the 70s, where we talk of the Green Revolution and Mera Bharat Mahan and all those things. That kind of aspiration really came up, and that's where this Mere Desh Ki Dharti. Those all the songs were there. But again, those days in the 60s and the 70s, it was light. Then came the 1990s. All the time now you have two different kinds of people in this world, where there's a rich guys for a rich father's son and the poor girls. So there was an income disparity, and how you used to fall in love, and the families used to dispute with each other and all those things. Okay, that was probably 90s. Come to 2000, 2022, like all these years, we have movies like Wake Up Said. The guy is working somewhere in some MNC, the girl is working somewhere. There is nothing called garibi hai. There is nothing called poverty. We don't show all those poverty nowadays. Now this is where when you come to look at the poverty, look at the aspiration side today. And I was just asking the organizers how much time will it take for me to reach to airport, and I should have a flight back to Jaipur, how congested the airport would be, and all those things. From a time that even having a scooter used to be a luxury, from a time that we have to actually calculate how many hours we have to wait in the airport because the airport is truly congested. Now this is what we call it an aspirational economy. We are truly into, and when we say Amrit Kal, we are essentially into an aspirational economy, and how that we kind of converge those aspirations into our business model is what probably, again, whatever I'm going to speak over the next 20, 40 minutes is going to be my side of the story, not necessarily the right side of the story. It's my side of the story, how I look at it, how I look at, going forward, how I should be managing my this mutual fund distribution business and all those things, right? So this is today. Now, if you look at now, with all the movies that I've shown, if you're just trying to take up this, the rise in the per capita income. I'm not going to bug up with you with the numbers and all those things. That's not, but I'll just pick up some relevant thing. Now this was the per capita income of India from 1950 all the way. So 1950 you had a $60 per capita income, and then it was 83, this, and back in 2004 and 42, 2010, it was the first time it cost $1,000, and then probably now we are heading towards $3,000 per capita income as a country. Now, why I have actually put this into system, put this in here. Now the reason is, in any country, as long as the country, the per capita income is less than $1,000 per year, that economy or that people in that country are only looking for the so-called the roti kapda makan, the basic necessities of life. They don't really aspire more. Their basic job is only to struggle. Their basic struggle is, can they feed themselves? Can they have basic amenities like roti kapda makan? I'm sure this much of Hindi, I'm sure people are all comfortable with. Yeah, so that's what, yeah. So this is what I was saying. Now that India is now well above so-called this $1,000 per mark, we are now truly getting into an aspiration economy. Aspiration, we really want to do something bigger, and that's where we see the airport being very, very crowded. In that context, where are we placed? As an MFD, how do I look myself? So we're not going to talk of GDPs or markets or this or that. You know, I'm going to talk of where the rabbit could be tomorrow. Because when you're going to shoot the rabbit, it's not shooting where it is right now. It's going to, because it is running, and we have to shoot it. We have to shoot it where probably it would be tomorrow. And when, as an entrepreneur, as a businessman, when we are sitting and we are talking, and we are trying to say we need to aspire to grow, upgrade ourselves, we have to grow. For growth to happen, what we need to know is not what, in Hindi what I call it, दशा नहीं दिशा महत्वपूर्ण होती है. I'll translate this. दशा नहीं दिशा महत्वपूर्ण होती है. It's not where you are what matters. It's in which direction are you moving that matters the most. Now we need to actually identify which direction are we all heading with as an industry. And when I say as a distributor, I am really seriously so excited. You know, I just completed 20 years of this business and last year. And today we manage close to 2,000 crores of assets with some 20 crore rupees of ship book. With and also when I was talking to a team, on the 20th anniversary, and they asked me, Ashish, how do you feel right now? And I said, I still look myself, I am just starting out the business. I'm still that eager. I still have that energy. I'm so aspirational. I need to do more business. And in our office we have a tagline called Mondays excite us. Mondays are always motivating. Oh, we have to go to office. We have to do something great. So I think so. I even today, I consider myself, I'm back to 23, 24 years of age where I started off this business, and I still have that energy. And why do I have that energy? I have this energy because I'll show you what the slides to come. Why I'm so passionate. Why? And again, those are not my just my wishful thinking. There are certain things, the data points of which certain things which really made me think, Ashish, how should you be placing yourself? Now the first thing is about the demography. As a country, how are we placed ourselves? Now, when you talk about demography, we say, what does demography here would mean? Now, this is I just picked up this from Google, okay, right or wrong, I don't know, I just picked it from Google. Now, this is the population pyramid of India today and why it is so relevant. And few of the youngsters over there, they were asking me something. I said, please have a look at my presentation, I'm going to talk about it. And why this is going to matter. What is going to be. So, as on today, let's call it, this is probably more or less today. So we have this entire population. This is where the age of the population is. From 0 to 4, 5 to 9, 10 to 14, all this is the population. And this is male versus female. So now you see the lower part is heavy. And that's why we say the youngs, we are, as an Indian, we are 70% of the Indians are less than 30 years of age. That's what we see here, right? This is, but now, fast forward. And someone was asking me, how do I talk to Gen Zs? And Ajit had a presentation about someone from 64, someone 54, someone 44, 34, maybe 24. So here you have someone who's 74, all the way coming up to maybe 24 and maybe now 4 and 5 years. It doesn't matter to us anyway. Now, this is the population's, kind of demography place right now. Now, how does it matter to me? How does it matter to you? What matters is what's going to come around. Now, next, this is 2030. Can we see any difference? No. Is there a difference? Is there a difference? What's happening? The bottom is getting lighter. And we are moving up the ladder. Now, when I say we are moving up the ladder, now that we have more people in the mid-30s, maybe touching towards mid-30s. What about next 2040? Now the belly is getting heavier. This is 2050. This is 2000, so 2050 onwards. Now why I've done that, once again I'll go back. This is 2020, this is 2030, this is 2040 and 50. What does it mean? As the country is going to go up, it is not these set of people who have money. It is not these set of people who have money. It is somewhere here that you have the most meaningful money. Yes or no? Yes. And that's where we are rising. So what I'm saying, demography means, again, very, very scientifically, how are we moving? We are moving towards having more and more people in their 40s. And that's next 15 to 20 years we're going to have more. And the people in the 40s, and I'm sure 80-90% of people, would you agree with me, people in the 40s are the best people to have your client, right? So no, they are the peak of their income, they are growing, they have their liabilities, they have everything put together, and they really want a hand holding. Yes or no? Yes. That's what will go. That's what inspired me that Ashish, you should continue to work very hard. Now this is 2050. Now, apart from this demography that we talk of, we also have something called the wealth distribution. Now, how this entire wealth is actually being distributed among us and how we should be and what is going to actually lead up in our business. Hame said that we as a distributor want. Yes or no? Something which is goal oriented, something that they want for retirement, something where we can do SIP and SWP, something that we really say for a college education, say for an emergency, true to the word, wahi paisa chahiye hame. And this is what basically makes me understand that next wave of investors will actually come from here, and they will look for someone to advise them, someone to guide them, someone to tell them, boss, I have a business model here, and that's what even goes ahead. Now, so what do we do with them? We talk SIPs? Yeah? Now the question is, I started doing SIP back in 2003-04. I used to sell 500 rupee SIP. Unfortunately, yes, with good or bad, I don't know, SIP is actually being grossly missold. The way we are promoting SIP and all those things, I have my own reservation with the industry that this is not the property, the way that everything, every holiday wish or a brother day, sister day, father day, mother day, holiday, Diwali day, Eid day, New Year day, every day we all say SIP kar lo, SIP kar lo, SIP kar lo. And I think so mutual fund has actually been overshadowed by the word called SIP. That's what but having said that, that's still the case. So today, the what is dasha, what is happening today is SIP is the buzzword, and you find it everywhere that investors saying, I don't want to invest in mutual fund, I want to invest in SIP, right? We all hear that. It's a fact that SIP has become more and more popular than the word called mutual funds. So just 2-3 days back, I was taking a session in a hotel back in Jaipur, and there were a few ladies over there, and I was taking a session, and I asked them, SIP kisko pata hai? And everyone kind of said, they probably wouldn't even they would not even KYC compliant, but they all knew what SIP was. So SIP has become big buzzword, right?
Yes.
But if we really want to actually aspire to grow and aspire to upgrade, we actually got to be looking far beyond, and we need to place ourselves. And where I say that, I'm like, yes, we will continue to SIP, we will do, but now the focus actually have to shift from SIP. And when you really want to balloon up the AUM that we have to really shift the word from SIP to something called portfolios. And I started telling my team, a couple of years back, अब SIP से ज़्यादा portfolio आया करेंगे. अब SIP से ज़्यादा portfolio आएंगे, more than SIP, we'll get portfolios. Because lakhs and lakhs of people, either through direct or otherwise, or through banker, because MFDs are very, very, very few numbers, and so then within that obviously we have some good or bad MFDs. Having said that, there are so many people who are misguided, self-directed, this and that, and actually have started SIPs. And that trend happened probably from 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18 onwards, and sitting in 2025, they are actually sitting on portfolios. Yes or no? Yes. Why I'm saying that? Because see, what I can see is not vision. When I close my eyes and what I'm able to see is called vision, right? So first, we have to be visionary to understand what next holds in us. What does the next big boom is going to be like? As fund manager keeps trying to find out what, they don't really talk about what actually went back. They look at what probably could be the rising sector or rising theme or whatever. So as a rising theme, what I believe that rising theme is about able to manage portfolios. And in every month, it has happened in last 6 months that my SIP book has actually not increased, but I have got so many change of broker or direct portfolios, actually clients who have been often not been treated well or direct or whatever, and they are actually now coming in. These are only green shoots. These are only green shoots. And now, if you build an SIP 10,000, and I see I have been, I was doing SIP back in 2004 when no one was doing it. I was passionate then, I'm passionate still. But what I'm adding here is that just not only talk of SIP, we need to gear up, but for managing portfolio, we need to have a different hat. We need to have a different way to look at it. Because next level of growth of MFDs will actually come from those who will be able to manage portfolios. See, we have not been geared up for managing portfolios. What we have done probably reasonably well is to build up 10,000 SIP, build up 5 lakh, build up 10 lakh, build up 50 lakh, 30 lakh, 40 lakh, maybe a crore so, right? And that's why you see the majority of the AUMs where we are. 30 lakh for 30 crore, 50 crore, 50 crore, 70 crore, 100 crore, all those. Majority, if you take the average of most of the MFDs, right? So we have been able to build AUM build portfolios through SAPE. But do we know how to handle portfolios? That's a different ballgame. And I'm not saying I have an answer. I'm not trying to say I have an answer, but at least I've got a problem and I still need to find an answer. Because the next level growth will not come 10, 20, 30, 40, 50%. It will come actually doubling every 2 years, 3 years, if provided we are able to capture the pulse of what an investor is looking at. Am I making sense? Yes. Because I don't know, because everyone's too silent. I'm not very sure about it, right? Okay, anyway. So again, I'm just sharing what I keep speaking with myself, I keep speaking with my team. I just thought, and that's what I thought I'll pick up this particular topic, which is favorite to me right now. The portfolios. But who will get portfolios? We have been propagating only SIPs. हम तो SIP की बाजा बजा रहे हैं. And every WhatsApp, every WhatsApp forward that we do, every WhatsApp status update or every Facebook update that we do is all about SIP, emergency SIP, Diwali SIP or this SIP or Father Day, Mother Day, and again an SIP, and every day and everything that we do. And if we get a 10,000 SIP for this particular day, I have done my job, and I coldly say, okay, I have done. My target for the day is achieved. Yes or no? We have to start believing first that there is a world which is changing and changing very rapidly. When Vishrant came and showed there are so many investors who have actually they are even Grow another app. If you see them, your direct app, the moment their portfolios are going to go up, they start looking at advisors. But who those advisors would be? If I am promoting myself as someone who can run a 30, 40 people dhaba, will someone who want to have a 500 people wedding, will they come and talk to me? They will not. They'll start looking at where can you have an occupied or where can you serve 500 people, and that should be talked about. But are we actually talking about that? We are not. That's what I'm saying. We are not. We are still focusing on SIP. It's not that I'm not focusing on SIP. I'm not even saying that for a minute. I'm as passionate for SIP as I was in 2004 ever since. But there's another segment which is going to actually, put that kind of rocket engine to my, is going to go from 2,000 crore to 20,000 crore in the next 5, 7, 10 years. Because if I start focusing something different, and that's where the portfolios would be. That's a theme that I'm following now. Look at portfolios. But see, now there was one question which someone asked me. when is the right time to catch people, and who will give me portfolios? Now to answer them, please understand there are 5 stages of investors. This is the article I wrote on Wealth Forum. There are 5 stages of investors. There are 5 stages of investors, and you are supposed to catch them when. You have heard of Maslow's hierarchy theory? Anyone? Anyone? Yes, sir. What is it? Sorry? There's a pyramid, right? Okay, so let me help you out. So there's a Maslow's pyramid of now, what I call it a Maslow's pyramid of investor's journey. हमें किसको देखना है, किसको नहीं देखना है, whom we are supposed to look at and whom we are supposed to ignore, because that's not, you may serve them, but that's not the business end. That's in my perspective. Right? Now there are certain kind of investors who are here for entertainment. The first investor, the Dream 11, 20 crore people, they are there for entertainment. They are not there for wealth creation. They come, log in, 49 rupees, एक line लगाते हैं, they lose, it's okay, they have fun. Entertainment, and hence many of the investors through the direct model or otherwise are the one who are come for entertainment. Okay, let me also try. Everyone talking about SIP, let me also get into SIP, and they come for entertainment. Once they entertain themselves, and few of them actually will end up making profit, then they will go to the second zone called experimentation. Now they start experimenting. Oh, they'll invest in one fund, maybe let's say some large cap or some digital fund or some technology fund or some defense fund, whichever is the hottest running fund. They will invest in that, and maybe few of them will land up making some profit. Now when they land up making some profit, the next thing that they'll do is they'll start experimenting. Now they'll start experimenting, they'll increase their SIP, they'll increase the investment, they'll do this and they'll do that, and now say, okay, they'll Google few more things, they will ask ChatGPT what should be the ideal portfolio, this and that, they'll listen to all the influencers and everyone, and what will happen after 2-3 years? They'll get into something called frustration zone. They will get into something called frustration zone. And they generally, so again, if I look at the age-wise, this is where generally the people in their 20s, early 20s, late 20s and early 30s, the frustration generally picks up when you have a liability, when you goes up, mid 30s. When they get into frustration, that is where they will start to look for an MFD. That is where they'll start to look for an advisor. They will not look at advisors at entertainment and experiment. And if I try and advise them there, they'll say, "Humko pata hai." And they'll ask ChatGPT, and the ChatGPT will be far more intelligent than us at that point in time. So there is no need for, I don't focus there at all. Absolutely not. So someone in 20s, 30s, isko rehne do. When he'll get into frustration zone, then he'll start looking. Only when he starts looking, that is where he'll get into the realization zone. This is the best. And now when does the realization zone comes? The realization zone comes when Ashish has a 3-year-old or a 5-year-old kid. He's in the late 30s, early 40s. He knows after 5, 7, 10 years, he'll have his kids getting wedded. He'll have his, there are many people being laid off. His business is in some trouble or this and that. And he starts to then worry about his personal life. That's where the realization zone comes. And when the realization comes, in the frustration and realization, and if at that time, you are visible, he will come with portfolios. He will not come with those 10,000 rupees SIP. He will come with that 1 crore, 1.5 crore, 2 crore portfolio and say, I got this from my father and I have built this thing and I have invested in shares and some demat is here, lying here, there, can you help me consolidate and help me with a plan? And that's where the true meaning of an MFD actually comes. And that's where even I will be more focused on. And only when they realize, that's where they will get into a wealth creation mode. I hope the pyramid is clear. Makes sense? Want to take photos? Okay. So I must know. Be concentrating more here, neither there. So I am not. Let me tell you, I am not competing with grows. I never even tell them they are bad because wo beej bo raha hai, main fasal kaatunga. They are sowing the seed and I am going to cut the harvest. It is the portfolios that I will be managing, and let them do the KYC in a 30-second or 60-second or whatever, because I will spend 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours with my client helping him to achieve his dreams. And I need to spend time there. But for that, I should be visible. I should be visible. Yeah. You know, I said today there are 5 crore retail investors today. And roughly we have 30 lakh out of 60 lakh crore, roughly 30 lakh crore assets is around in retail. That means on an average, if I divide this 30 lakh, this comes to around 6 lakh per pan. Average is 6 lakh per pan. Fast forward 10 years, this is coming to 2000, sorry, this is 2035. Fast forward 2035. 2035, there's 10 crore, there will be a 10 crore retail investors. And probably their AU will be 150 lakh, on an average 15 lakh per pan. Right? It will happen probably. But in a family, there are 3 to 5 people. Husband hai, wife hai, bachcha hai, HUF hai, X hai, Z hai, something, right? That means a family will have 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 lakh or maybe bigger portfolios. Once again, I am coming to portfolio. They will come and again they will be seeking some advice. That's going to happen. And now, there, see, I may go, you know, they said I had some, you know, acidity problem, although I went to this and that gave me a small tablet, it's okay. But what obviously we all know, at some point we need, when things go bigger, we need a doctor. That's why when this goes, we need an MFD. And the problem with, let me be very honest, the problem with the manufacturers is that they are not able to produce MFDs. They have be ready to fail 100 times because success will only come the 101st time. So, you know, I have a team of 55 people, and often we know, one of the session in Kolkata is, you know, this the anchor actually introduced me. Oh, let me welcome a successful, you know, financial advisor from a mutual fund distributor from Jaipur, who is a successfully managing team of 35 people. I said, hello, wait, let me introduce myself. So I came on the stage, I took the mic and said, please welcome Ashish Modani, who in the process of managing 35 people have actually given salary to 350 at least once in a lifetime. Yeah, that's how I am managing 35 people now. I have failed more than times I have actually found success. Problem is that we are fearful of failures. What if I hire a team? What if I do something? What if they run away? So please, then you will not be able to capture, because you can't be a debt investor and looking for an equity return. Right? Next, don't take easy routes. So often people ask me, Ashish, why do you always tell people to take tough routes? They are lucky they can say 2, I can say only 1. I don't see the second route. There's no easy route to success. I can only see one, and let me just, you know, walk over. I'll fail, it's okay, I'll just still continue to walk over. And the third, don't focus on, focus on quality, not the quantity. Problem toward this industry is we are too much number focused. We are focusing on numbers. Ashish ka kitna AU mein, uska kitna AU mein, uska kitna AU mein. Please stop focusing that. Focus on the kind of quality of AUM that you are getting. Because your 100% quality AUM, even if it's 60%, it is far better than 100 crore, which is not of quality. Because that, if you don't focus on quality, that client will be doing chakar to me after some time. Please avoid such kind of clients. Have quality people who can be assets to you rather than they become liability to you, because tomorrow your time is going to be far more scarce. So I'm focusing that also. I'm focusing that I should not have this client. No, I should be able to say, no, I don't want such type of client. I don't want really 25 and 30, they are coming to me. No, I don't want. I want someone who is 40, 45. Yes, I'm more happy with them. Not that I don't entertain at all. I'm just saying I'm not focusing on them. If they come, they are welcome, but I'm not focusing on them. I'm focusing more on the later part of 35 and then 45, because they are far more better clients for me. So now I am focusing on the quality, not just the quantity part, right? With that, I hope I'm completing well in time. There is no second time that I have rung the bell. And so if someone wants to follow me, if you want to be in touch, it's a QR code. You can take a QR code that will take you to my LinkedIn profile. And you will be glad if I can be connected to LinkedIn. And I'm a distributor. Any fund manager here? Okay, then I'll probably not speak something. Yeah. But on a jovial note, sir, so don't mind me saying that. You know, from last 15 years, there's one thing that I've heard from a fund manager across. There's one, you know, probably वो जब घर जाते होंगे तो ही बोलते होंगे I am optimistically cautious about the market. And I've been hearing this throughout last 15, 17 years. I'm optimistically cautious about the market. I know how does that really word sound to me. So I think so more than fund manager, if you're able to focus on the what we really need to achieve. Because see, eventually India is all going to mature. We are going to grow amazing. What's really going to be important, how are you and me placing ourselves in the eyes of an investor? That's going to be the most important thing. Yeah. I'm not sure there's a time for any questions. I'm sure there's a time for clap. You can. I'm sure you can.